Alright, so I am standing here in front of one of the more iconic places in Orlando that's not operating right now due to COVID-19. Also due to them coming out with a new show. This is the Cirque du Soleil building at Disney Springs. So that's right, today we're going to give a tour of what it is like at Disney Springs. So if you do not know, Disney Springs is a conglomeration. It is kind of like a mall, but it has tons of great restaurants, including celebrity-inspired restaurants. It also has Cirque du Soleil, which is soon to come out with Drawn to Life, which is a Disney-inspired Cirque du Soleil show. Now, this closed down before the pandemic. It's not just because of the pandemic. The previous show had ran for almost 2 decades, and it was time for something new. But they've kept the building the same, and they are planning on opening before the new year. So we'll see what happens there. If they do, I will probably be going on one of the first couple weekends, and I will tell you what it's like. Cirque du Soleil at Disney Springs. Right over here, too, just so you know, too, I'm starting over here on what is called the west entrance. So there's a west and an east side that you can be dropped off, picked up on. So this is by the surface parking on the west side. By Cirque du Soleil, that's the first thing you see coming in. You also have House of Blues here, which is a major concert venue. Right now they're not doing any concerts, but they are doing porch front concerts, local bands mostly, and they are performing daily. They also have an incredible happy hour from when they open all the way till 6 o'clock. CityWorks is the newest restaurant at Disney Springs, to the best of my knowledge. They have mostly bar food, and they're located right under the NBA Experience, which is currently not open. Apparently it will open eventually again. This is something where you get to get into your inner basketball brain. There's trivia, there's shot making, there's all sorts of stuff. I want to do it eventually, and if I do, I'll show you. The NBA Experience. This is owned by Disney. And then just past this, we get to one of the other newest experiences in Disney Springs, which is M&M World. Right now, as you can see, there is a wait to get into M&M World, so I'm not really going to wait on that. But it's pretty cool. I moved here from Vegas, and Vegas has one as well. I mean, it's alright. If you really like M&Ms, you can get personalized M&Ms in there. You can get pictures with some of the M&M characters outside. For the most part, it's just like customize your own M&M bag. Next is one of the other big attractions at Disney Springs, which is Splitsville. That is the luxury bowling alley here at Disney Springs. They have lots of food, drinks, even sushi. And they are not inexpensive, to say the least. Let's see. Got 1 hour of bowling is $18 per bowler. You got 3 to 4 bowlers. You get an hour, 15 minutes. But yeah, if you come before 4 o'clock, it's $18 a person. After 4 p.m., it's $22 per bowler. And that's for weekday rates. Weekends, it's $22 all day. Pool, billiards, $16 an hour. Mini bowling, $16 an hour. So not cheap, but you are in Disney World, so what do you expect? And honestly, it looks like it's a really nice place. So I mean, $18 an hour if there's only 2 of you. So then you're paying $36 an hour, and you probably can get 2.5 games in per hour. I mean, in 2 hours you can definitely get 4 games in. For $36, that's not bad. That'd be $8 a game. That's not much more than the going rate here in Orlando. So when I start on the west side, you do start out with more of the attraction type places. So AMC movie theater, this is a massive movie theater. I think it's got 18 screens, and it also has a dine-in option. Right now, as you can see, there's nothing really good playing. I mean, they're playing Magic Mike still. That is the links they're reaching to and putting naked people on the ads. Interesting. But I mean, the new movie right now is Godzilla vs. King Kong. They're still playing the Lorax, Raya and the Last Dragon. Nothing that makes me want to go to the movies. And I am a movie theater goer. I love the movie theaters. But it's just not worth it. So as you can see up here, the Orange Garage is another place you can park. If you did not ride in or couldn't find surface parking over on the west side, you can park at the Orange Garage, and you come in right here with all of the popular things. So the other thing over here I didn't even know about, you got Everglazed donuts and cold brew. And I am going to be doing an entire video on desserts in Disney Springs at some point. If you go back a couple weeks, you can see my happy hour video on my first Foodie Friday. That was filmed here at Disney Springs today, actually. So I'm not doing desserts the same day I did happy hour. I am full, and disclosure, I am slightly tipsy. Still working on my last happy hour drink. Another big place over here is Jaleo by Jose Andres. They have, and I showed this on my happy hour video, they have Wednesdays right now where you can get a 5-course dinner per person for $40 plus half off of bottles of wine. So it's actually a pretty good deal on Wednesdays. One of the other major attractions here is this hot air balloon. I will put up the pricing. I know it's not cheap. So I know I didn't really say it at the beginning of the video. Disney Springs is what I consider to be Disney's 5th gate. So they have Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. So this is a free to get in place. I am local. I've got in here for free. I don't have my season pass to Disney, but you can get in for free. Cigar lounge over here. It's basically a shopping mall on crack. I mean, as you've already seen, there's a lot of things that a normal shopping mall is not going to have. It also has a lot of celebrity-inspired restaurants or celebrity-owned restaurants. You even got a food truck section over here with Four Rivers Barbecue, a mac and cheese truck, a hot dog truck. So even for the picky eaters in your family, there are places to eat at Disney Springs. Most of the good places in Disney World to eat are at Disney Springs. They're also very adult friendly. They have a lot of bars. They're not cheap bars, but they are bars. This one, their signature cocktail is a peach margarita with Don Julio for $16. So one of the cooler stores here, and there's always a line to get in during the pandemic, is the Candy Cauldron. This one's got themed candies from some of the different Disney movies. Big time on their candy apples, as you can see in their window. Then you got Marvel Superhero Headquarters. Now you're thinking, whoa, just saw in one of your other videos that they have Marvel at Universal Studios. They sure do. And they also have Marvel at Disney, because Disney now owns Marvel, but they don't own all the rights to Marvel, which is why Universal can keep it. Plenty of videos on the internet for you to see if you're curious about that. But all your Marvel merchandise can be found here, and it's probably better than the merchandise stores at Universal, except they don't have all that signed stuff and the exclusive merchandise you can get inside of Universal Studios. And right beside this, fittingly, is the other recently purchased acquisition by Disney, Star Wars Galactic Outpost. So obviously this is going to be Star Wars merchandise from Disney. This is a lot of the stuff you can find in the park, and some of the stuff is exclusive to the store. Continuing in very Disney fashion, you have Disney Style, which is Disney's main merchandise store in Disney Springs. Now I'm starting on the west side, so you might be kind of disappointed by the rest of the mall. But this side is definitely all the big attractions, all the cool Disney stuff that you've been wanting to see. So we're going to see if we can get in without a super long line right now. It looks like there is not a line. So this is actually my first time in the Disney Style store, because usually it has an extremely long line. Today there was no line to get in, so you can buy everything from Mickey ears to face masks to clothes. This is the most Disney store in Disney Springs. It is definitely Disney-fied in here.
I've never seen that.
And I noticed those Mickey headbands are slightly cheaper than they are outside of in the parks outside of Disney Springs. It's actually a much smaller store than I thought. As that is it. Alright, so one of the other cool things about over here is the World of Coca-Cola, which I plan on having a whole video about. The World of Coca-Cola, you can try Coca-Cola from all around the world. I went as a child to Atlanta's version of this. I assume this one's pretty similar, except they also have cocktails here. Also, just for reference, there's another orange garage here. And as you can hear in the background, there is a live artist here.
Come on, baby, won't you
Live heart.
I don't wanna be alone. I need you now. And if you feel you're sinking, I will jump right over into cold, cold water for you. And although time may take a saint to different places, I will be patient with you.
By the movie theater again, you can see inside they actually have a full bar before you get to sit down for the movies. I can't wait until something good actually comes out, in my opinion. Nothing that I want to see. One of the other big attraction places is now Guy Fieri themed Planet Hollywood. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. I know he says Guy Fieri. But then when you go around the corner, you'll see you get Chicken Guy, which I have tried. It is Guy Fieri's chicken tender restaurant. Chicken tender restaurants are definitely the trend right now. This one has over 20 different sauces you can try, and it is absolutely delicious. And then over across from him you have another very famous chef, Wolfgang Puck's Bar and Grill. Now this one, I have never had the food, but I have had the dessert. And the desserts are really good. I know they have that carrot cake is $9, but it is fantastic. The next part we're probably going to kind of zoom through. This is more of the shopping district of Disney Springs. Got a lot of luxury upscale places. It's not like your Gucci's and Louis Vuittons. It's more like your Columbia's, Tommy Bahamas, etc., Sephora's, that kind of thing. So I'll kind of zoom through this and you'll get a taste of what is here. So just so you know, if you were to get dropped off by official Disney bus, this is where you come in. Right by Zara, Anthropologie, Uniqlo, MAC, Sephora, Kate Spade, Lacoste. I'm gonna stop here and say Love Pop is really a fantastic shop. I bought Christmas cards here last year. It was featured in Shark Tank, actually. That's how I learned about it. And I mean, these are actually just paper that folds down flat. You can send it for the price of 1 or 2 postage stamps. They're not that expensive. And you're talking like 10 bucks a piece. Your standard card's gonna be $5 or $6 anyway. And these are just excellent. I love it. Continuing on though. I'm going to pause in the middle of some of the coolest stores. You got Uniqlo, which is what Roger Federer wears on his shirt. That's kind of like an H&M. A little more expensive though. You got a poutine shop over here that has many different kinds of poutines. You have the World of Disney, which is actually like a co-op store of different companies that sell Disney related merchandise. And then one of my coolest, most favorite displays in Disney is the Lego store over here. They always have ever-changing displays. I don't know how often they exchange them. This one's been up for, I guess, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. They have some really, really neat Lego statues, sculptures, whatever you want to call them. That is literally all made out of Lego. I'm going to zoom in to show you. It's literally all Lego bricks, which is just really neat to me. Ever since moving here, it's one of my new favorite forms of art. Seeing it. And we do have the one piece here that's always standing, which is this cute little dragon over here in the water. It's been there as long as I can remember. Even when I was 8 years old, it was here. I do see they added the tongue back though. You got the Star Wars display over there. If you go down a little farther, we even have a Mickey Mouse display. And a Frozen display. From my memory, this Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey is actually brand new in the last couple months. Fantasia is actually over 80 years old right now and is the most lasting impression of Mickey Mouse. One other really cool thing while we're over here about Disney Springs is this Rainforest Cafe over here. The volcano actually goes off. We all know about the Vegas volcano. Oh, and it's going off right now. So yeah, I can't tell you what interval it goes off at, When you're close, you can actually hear the tribal sounds and everything. And actually, the Lava Lounge is one of the better places in Disney Springs to get an adult cocktail. Even though you don't think of Rainforest Cafe as an adult place, they know that we all reminisce about the 90s when Rainforest Cafe was a real thing. Now Rainforest Cafes are barely surviving, but these Lava Lounges serve some pretty good drinks. And then you got Goofy's Candy Company over here, famous for their candy apples, as was the place before. This one you can actually like customize your candy apples, get kind of whatever you want. So the whole west side of Disney Springs, well actually we're out of the west side, it's the east side. So I guess about half of Disney Springs is based on Disney World itself, based on the Disney properties. The other half is shopping and dining, which there is plenty of. So yeah, there's a carousel you can pay to ride. Then I showed you the hot air balloon earlier and that cool boat. There is a lot of stuff to do here if you have money. They even have a lefty shop just for left-handed people, which is kind of cool. You don't find that everywhere. This is one of the more popular shops too in Disney Springs. It's the pen trading store. Right now they will not trade still, but they will of course let you buy. And the only Earl of Sandwich sub shop in Orlando. And they also have the Toy Story themed Once Upon a Toy and the Disney Trend shop. So yeah, basically this whole half, this is the east half. We're actually right by the east side drop off. If you get dropped off here by an Uber or a taxi, this is where you're gonna be. And there's a lot of Disney themed stuff here. Also a couple kiddie rides. So I'm actually inside. This is called Trend This. This is the Disney kind of co-op. There's a bunch of different stores in here, including one I really like, which is the scent shop over here, which actually has Disney themed scents, including some stuff you've only ever seen on their rides. They've got all sorts of different stuff in here that you can't find in the stores because they're actually third-party companies, which is very interesting to me that they do this to allow the local artisans to be able to represent Disney in this way. This stuff's not generally cheap because it is all very crafty. Like I said, it's an artisan shop, so don't expect cheap. But there is some stuff owned by Disney too, Disney Cruise Line. I guess they're here because they can't make any money on the actual cruises for obvious reasons. But it's a pretty damn cool store. You can even get your phone case customized to Disney. So I was talking about, you can get monkey fart candles, or you can get, let's see what else is here. Clover World. Jamaica Me Crazy wax melts. There's all sorts of different stuff. Some of it is even some of the stuff from the hotels that they have their own scent. And this is the only place you can actually buy it to match that scent. So if you stay at the Polynesian Resort and you really want that scent, well, come over here to Disney Springs and buy the scent that you really love, because you can actually get it here. Pretty crazy. who also have girlfriends or kids who are looking for the rose gold Mickey ears, mini ears. I looked in the World of Disney. I looked in the other Disney-based stores. The one that had it was actually Ever After, the jewelry store owned by Disney. They actually had it, so my fiance is going to be very happy. It's right across from Sephora, if you're looking, or Shore Stand Super Dry. It's on the other side of that. So I'm glad I could finally find it. If you didn't know, if you want that rose gold mini ears, they are very elusive. They're hard to find. So here they were $29.99, same price all the other mini ears are, and I actually finally got them. Trust me, if you're coming to Disney with a female, she is going to want a very specific kind of mini ears, and they are not always easy to find. Even in the park, I was in Epcot not long ago and they did not have any of the rose gold ones. So if you find them and your girl wants them or your kid wants them, get them when you find them. So I found it once about 6 months ago, and now I have been looking for 6 months to find more. So now that I have that, let's go to the food portion of Disney Springs. Just so you know, this is the crowd level on a Tuesday. No, sorry, it's... Just so you know, this is a crowd level on a Monday at Disney Springs. This isn't not even busy week on a Monday at Disney Springs. And this is what you get. This is not Memorial Day weekend. This is not spring break. This is not summer break. So if you come this summer on Memorial Day weekend, or on a Saturday, expect it to be much busier than this. And it is already almost uncomfortably busy. And I am not talking about because of COVID. I don't care about COVID. I do care about how many freaking people there are here. On a non-busy day, there are lines to get into almost every store. There are waits at every restaurant. Every restaurant is reserved if it's a nice restaurant. I will say this homecoming restaurant, fantastic moonshine cocktails. Fantastic. I want to eat there one day. I have not yet eaten there though. So we're kind of coming across the same place. If you watched a couple weeks ago when I had the happy hour video, we're coming back across that half of the park. I said the park. It's really Disney Springs. Like I said earlier though, it's almost like the fifth gate of Disney. It's so super themed. You feel like you're in a theme park, but really you are really just in an outdoor mall. And there are tons of great restaurants, great food, great shopping. If you like jewelry, this is your place. If you like purses, this is your place. If you like eclectic, this is your place. So there's a lot of stuff here at Disney Springs that you won't find in your local mall. Unless you live in Vegas or Miami or something. You won't find it in your local mall. You won't find it anywhere in your average city. And I will say Disney Springs is what you would call overpriced in most places. But what I would call appropriately priced. Which means, yes, it is higher priced than your average place. Sure it is. But you also got to realize these business owners are paying a lot higher rent than your average business place as well. And given that, and with the exception of STK, most of these places charge like $14 to $16 a cocktail. You can find entrees under $20. My closest comparison for Disney Springs is the Vegas Strip. I've lived in both places. And to me, both places have very similar atmospheres, very similar clientele, very similar restaurants. It is so much cheaper in Disney Springs than it is on the Vegas Strip. It's not even close. In Vegas, you will commonly find a shot of Patron for 15 to 20 bucks. For here, I don't know how much a shot is. They don't really do shots here. Sure, you could buy one. But here you mostly find cocktails, and the craft cocktails, again, other than STK, run about 12 to 16. Which I know in your world, if you live in the middle of nowhere, or if you live in a small city, may sound ridiculous. But if you've been to Manhattan or New York, that is the same place. Or Vegas or California, you realize that 12 to 16 is about the going price for a craft cocktail. And in Vegas, you're going to pay a lot more than that. So if you find something that you really like, that you really see, and you say, oh my God, that looks excellent, go ahead and get it. You're most likely here on vacation, right? And if you're here on vacation, your money goes a little farther. Just plan to spend more. You're here to go to Disney. You ought to know that Disney is more expensive than Six Flags. It's more expensive than your local bar. But it is not ridiculously expensive like people try to say it is. I'm just going to come up on this random place. It's George Wine Bar. It's one of the more expensive places in Disney Springs. But as you can see, you can get appetizers for under $10. Up to about 28, just depends on what you get. They've got family style plates, entrees, and I know here one thing I've always wanted to try is the Sakanyagi on fire. That is a flaming cheese for 15 bucks. Comes with some stuff to eat it with, of course. So this will probably be on my video when I eventually do an appetizer tour of Disney Springs. Like I said, you can view the happy hour that I did here on the video a couple weeks ago. So we're going to kind of zoom through the rest of these restaurants just so you can kind of get a taste of what is here. And that is Disney Springs. Again, you can get just about anything here. There is stuff for all ages. There's stuff for kids. There's stuff for the Disney lover. There's stuff for the non-Disney lover. If you're coming to Orlando, even if you're not going to any theme parks, I always recommend making a stop at Disney Springs, because Disney Springs really, it's free to just come and walk around, and it's a super themed experience, and it's like, why not come here? You know, it's a mall that you've never seen anything like it probably if you've never been here. Vegas is the closest thing to anything like this, but then here you have all the family-friendly Disney stuff and none of the noisy casinos. I love it. It's great, especially if you want a nice dinner. I mean, the nicest restaurants in Orlando are mostly here. If you want nice shopping, it's here. And again, they don't have like the super luxury, the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton. They have kind of what I call the affordable upscale. You know, the Uniqlo, the Zara, the stuff that, you know, maybe you wouldn't go to buy clothes all the time. Or the Sephoras and the Pandoras that you wouldn't go to all the time. But it's something that while you're on vacation, it's like, why not get that? And almost everything here has a specific Disney item selection. So if you're a fan of Disney, which you probably are if you're at Disney Springs, go ahead and grab a couple of those things because you won't be able to find them anywhere else. So in a couple weeks, I'm going to post a video of some of the Disney transportation. That's actually what I'm off to next. So hitting multiple stones with one day. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch where I posted the happy hours here. There's actually a lot of really great happy hours. I got tipsy and full off of less than $60 here, which you definitely can't do anywhere else in Disney property or Universal property for that matter. So go ahead and check out my other videos. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions about anything. I'll answer them personally. Or if you have any video suggestions of what I should do in the future, either here at Disney Springs or any other property in Orlando, I'm always down for new stuff. Also, make sure to share with anybody you know that likes Disney, that likes Universal, that likes Orlando, or that's even thinking about coming down here. If you've been here before, this may not have helped you that much, but if you haven't been here, you have a friend that hasn't been down here that much, maybe they've never heard of Disney Springs and don't know what it is, well, share this with them, and then they'll know they want to visit for themselves. So I'm glad you watched, and I hope you come back Monday for the In the Loop video, where I put you in the loop on different things that are happening in the theme park world. And come back Wednesday for a random video, and then Friday I'll be back in a theme park. Thanks for watching Corbin's Coasters and More. Have a great day.